Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Shahi Hamzah bin Zulkafli. I'm going to show you my final year project on comparative analysis of password cracking tools. For the objective that have been achieved by doing this project, I have three. Number one is to evaluate the effectiveness and capabilities of online and offline password cracking tools. Number two is to compare the speed and performance of these tools. Number three is to analyze the best methods of prevention in mitigating the risk from being the victim of password attack. So, as I mentioned in objective number one, uh, I'm using two types of password cracking tools, which is online and offline. So for online, I'm using Hydra and also WPScan. And for offline, I'm using John the Ripper and also Hashcat. So we jump onto the results and analysis. So to evaluate the performance, I'm using a mathematical equation of average. So sum of values will be divided by number of values. Sum of values is the total time taken by the tools to create a set of password, and number of values is the number of successful password that the tools have be able to crack. So for offline password cracking tools, when we use the equation earlier, we will get these results on Hashcat and also John the Ripper. So to compare it more clearly, I'm using a bar graph so that we can see it more clear. So for John the Ripper, for dictionary attack, John the Ripper clearly take much better time, which if you can see here, in average it takes for MD5 0.29 seconds compared to Hashcat 4 seconds in average to crack an MD5 hashing algorithm. So brute force attack, Hashcat takes better time here, which we compare here. For SHA-1, it takes 8 seconds in average, while John the Ripper take 30.53 seconds. So there is a big gap between Hashcat and also John the Ripper when it comes to brute force attack. So for rule-based attack, you can see that John the Ripper is better when compare SHA-256 is 32.5 seconds in average, while Hashcat take 67.33 seconds in average. So we move on to online password cracking tools. So I'm using the same mathematical equation to evaluate the performance on online password cracking tools. So we can see the results on Hydra and also WPScan. So for dictionary attack, Hydra takes a better time, which is 442.33 seconds compared to WPScan 682.75 seconds. So for success rate evaluation, I'm using another mathematical equation, which is percentage. So the value will be divided by total of value, and then we multiply by 100. So the value is the number of successful correct password, and total of value is the total of password in a set, which is 16. So for offline password cracking tools, we can uh, calculate and get the results like this for Hashcat and also John the Ripper. So for dictionary attack, both tools show a good capability in utilizing the dictionary or the word list given. So both tools recorded 43.75%. While brute force attack, Hashcat take much better uh, success rate with 50% of successful attack, while John Ripper only recorded 37.5%. While rule-based attack, John Ripper takes the win here with 62.5% and Hashcat is 56.25%. So my justification on this is that Hashcat is better in brute force because it is capable in utilizing the CPU and GPU better, while John the Ripper is much rely on CPU only. So I think that's what differentiate between Hashcat and also John the Ripper. So for online password cracking tools, we can see that by using the same mathematical equation, this is the results for Hydra and also WPScan. We can see that Hydra is much more better with a percentage of 56.25%, while WPScan recorded with only 25% of successful attack. So my justification on this is that since WPScan is not built specifically for password cracking tools, so I think Hydra, which is built specifically for password cracking tools, be able to utilize the hardware better compared to WPScan. So for summary of the analysis, we can see that Hashcat is much faster when it comes to brute force, while John the Ripper is much faster when using the word list. For success rate, Hashcat has higher success rate when it comes for brute force, and John the Ripper have much higher success rate for rule-based and also when it comes to word list attack. So for features, Hashcat have supported GPU in cracking the password and also have advanced parallelism, while John the Ripper, most of the time it crack in CPU and GPU only available for certain hash, which is much more complex hash like SHA-256, bcrypt, scrypt, and also John the Ripper have much more limited parallelism compared to Hashcat. So ease of use, Hashcat is much more complex to perform compared to John the Ripper, which have much easier to understand when it comes to its command syntax. So for community support, Hashcat, since Hashcat is released in 2009, so the community support is much more smaller than John the Ripper, but it is still responsive because it have its official forum. So the help mode in Hashcat is provides a better detail compared to John the Ripper. So John the Ripper, since it was released in 1996, it have much larger and active community and also have its official forum, and also the help mode is much less detailed compared to Hashcat. So for online, Hydra is faster when it comes to brute forcing the login. WPScan is much slower for success rate. Hydra have much higher success rate compared to WPScan. So for features, Hydra supported diverse range of protocol such as HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, SSH, and also Hydra have a graphical user interface, while WPScan, since it is not specifically built for password cracking, it have other features like security assessment or malware detection or firmware detection. It only available in command line. So in terms of ease of use, WPS scan is much easier in its command syntax compared to Hydra. So for community support, Hydra have no official forum other than GitHub, and the documentation outside of the tools is not so many compared to WPScan, which have better community, which have its official forum and have a decent user guide documentation. So the difference between online and offline tools, you can see that online password cracking tools is extremely slow even cracking a simple password. This is because it takes two things. Online password cracking tools rely on two things, which is hardware and also network performance, because the login system need to communicate with authentication server back and forth every time brute forcing has begun. So for offline, it is much faster, capable to crack a weak or common password in less than a second. When it comes to success rate, online have much lower successful attack because it can trigger an alarm to the security professionals that own the website, and they will block the attacker IP address if they notice any such any multiple wrong attempt on the login system. While offline have much higher successful attack since it performed in offline, so the security professional cannot detect if their password is in the risk of cracking. So for features, online lack of attacking method variety. As my research go through, online only available dictionary attack for its brute force, while offline compact with full of features like hashing supported, and also many types of attacking method. In terms of ease of use, offline password cracking tools is much easier to use compared to online, because online you need to specify the URL, the protocol, the ports number, so it is much complex. So in terms of community support, offline password cracking tools have much better community support and also user guide, because of both tools that I explore have its own official forum and very active community, compared to online have like Hydra have no official forum, and the community in WPScan is not active. So offline also have better documentation compared to online password cracking tools. So in order to mitigate the risk of password cracking attack, we can use for system developer can use hashing and also sorting. Sorting will add extra value to the password itself before convert it into the hash function. So for password complexity, user or anyone need to set up password that are complex, which consists of lowercase, uppercase, numbers, and special characters. And the password itself cannot contain any common words or dictionary words in English or other languages. So for password length, the user also need to set up a password that are long enough to secure themselves. 8 characters of password is considered weak, especially against a high performance hardware, because they can crack it in a matter of uh, in below an hour when it comes to complex but short in length password. So other than that, user also need to update their password to limit the time for hacker to crack a password, since cracking a password require a diverse range of time, which can take hours, which can take minutes, or even months, years, and also a decade. So if the user keep updating their password, uh, it can limit the hacker times to crack a password. So I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum.